Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among lush green hills, there lived a young girl named Maya. Maya was known for her bright smile and kind heart, but lately her smile had faded. You see, Maya was facing a difficult time in her life. Her beloved grandmother had recently passed away, and she was struggling to cope with the loss. One day, as Maya sat by the village pond, lost in her thoughts and sadness, she noticed an old monk walking nearby. The monk, named Bodhi, had a peaceful aura about him, and his eyes twinkled with wisdom. Seeing Maya's troubled expression, he approached her gently. "What troubles you, young one?" Bodhi asked, his voice warm and comforting. Maya looked up at the monk, tears welling in her eyes. "My grandmother died and I miss her so much. The pain feels unbearable. How can I make it stop?" Bodhi sat down beside Maya, his robes rustling softly. He picked up a small pebble and tossed it into the pond. They watched as ripples spread across the water's surface. "Maya," he began, "life is like this pond. When something painful happens, it creates ripples in our emotions, just like this pebble in the water. But notice how the ripples eventually fade, and the pond becomes calm again." Maya nodded, listening intently. "Pain is a natural part of life," Bodhi continued. "It's like mud in the pond. Sometimes the mud makes the water cloudy, and we can't see clearly. But remember, even in the muddiest water, a beautiful lotus can grow." The monk pointed to a pink lotus flower blooming at the edge of the pond. "See that lotus? It grows from the mud, yet it remains pure and beautiful. Similarly, we can grow through our painful experiences and become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate." Maya's eyes widened with curiosity. "But how, Master Bodhi? How can I grow from this pain?" Bodhi smiled gently. "Let me tell you a story about a young prince named Siddhartha, who later became known as the Buddha." Maya settled in, eager to hear the tale. Long ago, Prince Siddhartha lived a sheltered life in a palace, surrounded by luxury and happiness. One day, he ventured outside the palace walls and encountered 3 sights that changed his life forever: an old person, a sick person, and a dead person. These sights showed him the reality of suffering in the world, and it deeply troubled him. Siddhartha could have chosen to ignore what he saw and return to his comfortable life. Instead, he decided to leave the palace and search for a way to end suffering for all beings. This decision wasn't easy. He left behind his family, his wealth, and everything he knew. It was painful, but he knew it was necessary. For years, Siddhartha searched for answers. He faced many challenges and hardships. There were times when he was hungry, tired, and discouraged, but he didn't give up. He kept going, driven by his compassion for all living beings. Finally, after much meditation and reflection, Siddhartha gained enlightenment and became the Buddha. He discovered the 4 Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, teachings that help people understand and overcome suffering. Maya listened, captivated by the story. "But Master Bodhi, how can Buddha's story help me with my pain?" Bodhi nodded, pleased by Maya's question. The Buddha's journey teaches us several important lessons about dealing with pain. Number 1, acceptance. The Buddha accepted that suffering exists. When we accept our pain instead of fighting it, we can begin to heal. Number 2, impermanence. The Buddha realized that everything changes. Your pain too will change over time. It won't always feel this intense. Number 3, compassion. The Buddha's compassion for others gave him strength. When we feel pain, we can use it to understand others better and be kinder to them. Number 4, mindfulness. The Buddha practiced being aware of the present moment. This can help us avoid getting lost in painful memories or worries about the future. Number 5, the middle way. The Buddha taught about finding balance. We shouldn't ignore our pain, but we also shouldn't let it consume us entirely. Maya nodded slowly, beginning to understand. "But how can I put these ideas into practice?" Bodhi smiled. "Let's try a simple exercise. Close your eyes and take a deep breath." Maya did as she was told, her small face scrunched in concentration. "Now," Bodhi continued, "imagine your pain as a dark cloud in your mind. Don't try to push it away. Just observe it, Notice its shape, its color, how it makes you feel. Maya sat quietly for a moment, then opened her eyes. It feels heavy and gray, she said softly. Good, Bodhi nodded. Now imagine your breath as a gentle breeze. With each breath, the breeze touches the cloud. It doesn't blow the cloud away, but it moves it slightly, changing its shape. Maya closed her eyes again, her breathing slow and steady. This is mindfulness, Bodhi explained. By observing our pain without judgment, we create space around it. We realize that we are not our pain, we are the awareness that observes it. Maya opened her eyes, looking calmer. That feels a little better, she said. Remember, Bodhi continued, just as the lotus grows through the mud to reach the sunlight, we too can grow through our pain. Your love for your grandmother and the memories you shared are like the roots of the lotus. They give you strength, even in difficult times. Maya looked at the lotus flower, its pink petals glowing in the sunlight. So, my pain can help me grow? She asked. Yes, Bodhi replied. Pain can teach us important lessons. It can make us stronger, more understanding, and more appreciative of the good times. But remember, growing through pain takes time and patience. The monk reached into his bag and pulled out a small, smooth stone. He handed it to Maya. Take this stone. Whenever you feel sad or miss your grandmother, hold it in your hand. Feel its smoothness. This will remind you to be present in the moment, just like we practiced. Maya clutched the stone, feeling its cool surface against her palm. Thank you, Master Bodhi, she said, a small smile appearing on her face. Now, Bodhi said, standing up, let's practice another Buddhist technique called loving-kindness meditation. It can help ease our pain by focusing on positive feelings. Maya stood up too, curious about this new practice. Close your eyes, Bodhi instructed gently. Think of someone you love, perhaps your grandmother. Imagine her smiling at you. Now, in your mind, say these words. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. Maya repeated the words silently, picturing her grandmother's kind face. Now, Bodhi continued, direct those same wishes to yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. As Maya repeated these words, she felt a warm glow in her heart. When she opened her eyes, she noticed that her pain, while still there, felt a little lighter. Remember, Maya, Bodhi said, healing takes time. Some days will be harder than others, but each day, try to be kind to yourself. Do things that bring you joy. Help others when you can. And always remember the lessons of the lotus. Beauty can grow even in difficult conditions. Maya nodded, feeling a new sense of hope. Thank you, Master Bodhi. I'll try my best to remember these lessons. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the pond, Maya and Bodhi walked back towards the village. Maya clutched her smooth stone in one hand, while her other hand held a lotus flower that Bodhi had carefully picked for her. Remember, Maya, Bodhi said as they walked, life is full of both joy and sorrow, just like this pond has both beautiful lotuses and murky mud. The key is to find balance, to appreciate the beauty while accepting the challenges. This is the middle way that the Buddha taught. Maya nodded, her young face showing a new understanding. I think I'm beginning to understand, Master Bodhi. My pain is like the mud, but my love and memories are like the lotus. Both are part of life. Bodhi smiled proudly. You're very wise, Maya. Always remember, just as the lotus needs the mud to grow, sometimes we need our painful experiences to become stronger and more compassionate. As they reached Maya's home, she turned to the monk. Master Bodhi, will you teach me more about Buddhism? Of course, Bodhi replied warmly. Remember, the journey of understanding is like the growing of a lotus. It takes time, patience, and nurturing. But with practice, you too can find peace and wisdom, even in difficult times. Maya hugged the kind monk, feeling grateful for his teachings. As she watched him walk away, she looked at the lotus in her hand and the stone in her pocket. She knew that while her pain wouldn't disappear overnight, she now had tools to help her navigate through it. That night, as Maya got ready for bed, she placed the lotus flower in a small vase and the smooth stone on her bedside table. She closed her eyes and practiced the mindfulness and loving-kindness meditations Bodhi had taught her. As she drifted off to sleep, she felt a sense of peace she hadn't experienced since her grandmother's passing. Maya's journey had just begun, but like the lotus rising through the mud, she was on her way to finding beauty and strength even in life's most challenging moments. In the days and weeks that followed, Maya continued to practice the teachings Bodhi had shared. She found comfort in her daily meditations and in holding the smooth stone when she felt sad. Slowly but surely, like a lotus rising through muddy waters, Maya began to bloom. Her smile returned, brighter than ever, not because her pain had disappeared, but because she had learned to find peace and growth even in difficult times. Maya's journey through grief had transformed her, just as the Buddha's teachings promised, into a more compassionate, mindful, and resilient young girl. And she knew that whatever challenges life might bring, she now had the wisdom to navigate them with grace and understanding. Moral of the story. As Maya's story shows us, there's an important lesson to be learned about navigating life's painful situations. Pain and suffering are inevitable parts of life, but with wisdom, mindfulness, and compassion, we can navigate through these challenges and grow stronger. Like a lotus flower rising from the mud, we have the capacity to find beauty and meaning even in our darkest moments. By accepting our pain, practicing mindfulness, and cultivating compassion for ourselves and others, we can transform our suffering into personal growth and resilience. Did Maya's story resonate with you? Like, share, and comment below with your own experiences. Subscribe for more Buddhist wisdom to help navigate life's challenges. Remember, we can all bloom like lotuses, even in difficult times.